I'm doing my research on the development of the beginning javelin thrower in regards to technique and training. So first I did a search um, on Google, and I think that this is a pretty reliable page. Um, Everything track and field. They do a lot of different articles on everything track and field. So then these two articles, they give like a basic layout of the first steps when you are approaching the javelin throw. So first of all, grip, focus on pulling over the top. It just goes through a full progression of what this author thinks a good approach to a beginner would be for throwing the javelin. Anyways, going back to another article, this person, Jim, does the same thing. It's a little different just because he has different ideas, so it's interesting to compare the two. And I really like it because it gives the exact layout and what they think you should do when you have a beginning javelin thrower. Next is this article that didn't load that I found on ProQuest, searching through the kinesiology database. There we go. This does the same thing. It kind of looks into how to train if you have an injury or injury prevention, which I find really interesting because I have a shoulder injury from javelin that I'm recovering from, so that was interesting for me. This little picture chart here talks about training progression and how you want to peak and then kind of break down a little bit. In order for your muscles to rebuild, they have to break down and then they rebuild, and so that's this peak here. You drop down and then you build your way back up and you peak. You don't want to peak too early in the season and then drop, and then that's just not what you want to do. Something I really liked was this picture, because when I was starting to learn how to throw javelin, I did this little technique, and it's a two-person drill, and it really helps the young athlete get familiar with the motion of the javelin. So another interesting article in this one, which I also really liked. Here it goes over the basic technique. The javelin is carried in a horizontal position above the shoulder. Yada yada yada. Talks about the run up. This is more how to throw the javelin, not necessarily training in order to throw, but these pictures are really great on what you want to focus on. So this black dot represents like an anchor, and so does this white dot. So if there's an anchor here, it's pulling your left shoulder forward, and if there's an anchor here, it's pulling your right shoulder, hip, and feet back. So you want to keep your left side back and your right side forward. It's hard to explain. It makes sense to me. Same with this picture. Here's the anchor here. Your left side is driving forward, your right side is anchored back, and that's how you get full leverage for a good throw. And this crossover leg is swooping forward. So I really like these visuals. The inverted C, because pretty much an easy way to explain it is if you're like a slingshot. Anyways, I only have a minute left. I also researched on ProQuest these different articles, and I request these ones, development of javelin, development of young javelin throwers, so hopefully I'll be getting those articles. I also emailed my dad, who is my high school javelin coach, and Coach L, who's currently my javelin coach, and sent them a list of questions. How would you approach training a new javelin thrower? Like, what steps do you go through? Who do you listen to on new javelin techniques? And a bunch of questions. Hopefully I'll get those answers back this weekend. And this is what I have so far.